Good morning, Lewis. Logan, how was that?
That was pretty good.
All
that
right.
was pretty good.
Well, I'm Allison Lankwitz with Logan Cat, and thank you for joining us this November morning.
Good morning, Flyers. We hope that time change, which actually wasn't the worst thing in the world, getting that extra hour of sleep, didn't hit you too hard. And yeah, I enjoyed my extra hour of sleep. I definitely did. It was
well, the WLRA 50th was the night before.
Yeah.
So that was nice to have that extra hour.
Well, yeah. Except for now, it gets dark at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got home from work and I was like,
that throws you
everything.
off.
I mean, it was pitch black. It was like the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
No,
but
I'm not a fan. I'd rather it be lighter later. You know what I mean?
we'll get there. We'll get back there. Don't worry.
Ready to go back to summer. But we can wake up this morning by checking out our latest trending topics.
Yes, let's do it.
Trending topics. Do you know what time it is? It's trending topics.
Trending topics time. Did you have a dad joke this week?
I did. Well, you will see.
I guess I'll see.
You will see.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, then let's get started because I'm anxious.
All right, tweet number 1. Let's take a look.
Oh, okay. So this one was mine. So a few months ago, we did a feature on LUTN of Bobby, the world's oldest dog. He died just a couple weeks ago, age 31.
Wow.
31.
31. That's older than I am.
Yeah. No, this dog, oh my gosh, he's the cutest dog ever. And the feature that we did was so cute and so wonderful, and so it's really heartbreaking. But I wonder kind of who's the new oldest dog on the road, you know?
I wish dogs could live forever, honestly.
I know.
I don't need to live forever, but dogs should.
Yes, I agree with you there. But yeah, we're starting off bittersweet, but.
Yeah. Well, if we could see tweet number 2 now, or hopefully, So a little bit on a more positive note, the Beatles just released their newest song, probably the last ever song, or maybe the last ever song. I heard there's a rumor that there might be another one in the works, but Now and Then by the Beatles. Did you hear the story about how this one came to be?
I did not.
So there was a recording of John Lennon way back before he died, playing the piano and singing this song, and they couldn't ever do anything with it because there was just one track with the vocals and the piano at the same time. And recently, with all the developments in AI, they used AI to separate the piano and the vocals.
Wow.
So now, I mean, the song is very actually powerful to hear it,
cool.
and it actually is John Lennon singing, and it sounds really, really good. So
that's amazing. AI just does so many cool things. I've seen a lot of songs written by rappers, but it's like their AI-generated voices, kind of.
Yeah. Or like how they use AI to have like different characters sing like different songs. Like I've definitely seen so many of those TikToks where it's like SpongeBob singing Eminem.
Yes,
you know?
I love those. I've seen those too. Oh, those are great.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Well, let's see what else we've got going today. We're picking it back up. Okay. Yes, this was amazing. So 7 straight ACC championships for UNC's field hockey team. But besides that, Erin Matson, she's 23 years old. She was a player last season for UNC's field hockey team.
Wow.
She's now their coach. She's the youngest coach in their history, I think in the history of the NCAA, honestly. And she brought her team to their first ACC field hockey championship.
Really?
Yeah, or not their first championship. She brought them to the championship, and this was the first win by a coach that young.
Oh.
So this was really special for them. Look at her recreating Michael Jordan.
Yeah, right?
I love that. That's so sick.
How familiar are you with field hockey?
You know, I'm not too familiar, but I love UNC. I'm a big UNC fan, so I follow a lot of their athletics, so that's how I heard about this. I don't know if field hockey's very big around here. I feel like I don't know very many schools that have it.
I know a couple high schools around here who have it. Like Houma Flossmoor has it.
Okay.
I don't know of any others around in this general vicinity around Lewis, but
it's big on the East Coast. So.
I mean, I do like ice hockey, so it can't be that different. I think it's like a combination of ice hockey and like soccer.
Yeah,
it
it is like soccer.
But they do some crazy stuff with the stick. They like lay it down.
It's pretty cool though.
And it is.
It's an aggressive sport too. So you got to be careful.
It is. It's like a lacrosse in that sense.
Yeah,
those guys. I mean, look out.
Scary.
It is very scary. But all right, can we see tweet number? I guess not tweet, but Instagram post number 2. So this one was from over the weekend. We had our men's and women's cross-country team had excellent placement at their tournament over the weekend, and I just wanted to highlight them and say congrats. You know, we our former technical director here at the Lewis University Television Network, Patrick Hennessy.
Patrick.
He actually was injured, so he's not in this photo right here, but He was also running. He's a grad student now and
Yeah.
hanging out. So just wanted to give a little shout out
Yes.
there.
Shout out. He also liked the photos, so we
He
see
did.
that
Look
too.
at that. There he is, right there.
So shout out
I
Patrick.
didn't notice that.
I
But
love
yeah,
that.
some quality.
We've had a good Lewis Athletics run the
Yeah,
last week. Yeah,
right. Especially, I feel like the cross country team doing really well. They placed
yeah.
really well at the crossover that we talked
Yep.
about that we had here at Lewis a couple weeks
That
ago.
was big. Yeah.
It was, and so I think they're heading to nationals again.
Yep.
They placed very well last year up in
Yep.
Seattle. So good luck to them
Yeah,
as
good luck
they
to them.
continue their cross country season. And
Yep.
talk about they do a lot of running because
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of them do cross country and
And
track
track,
in the
yep.
spring. That's a lot of
I
running.
don't know how they do it.
I don't either. The only time I run is
when
when I'm being
someone's chasing
chased.
you?
Yeah, there's no ever else need to run because
I agree with you there, even
You
though
know.
I did play soccer, but anyway.
I played goalie in soccer, so I was like, I'm not running, none of this. I'll
Good
stand
call.
in my little box and be done. So
Good call on your part. But let's see. I think we got our TikToks now,
I
right?
believe so.
Let's
Little
see
thing
'em.
that you're holding on to, little dude.
This one was mine. I love this.
What is this? Here, can you hold that up so I can see it?
Buzz Lightyear.
Gotcha. Loud and clear, dude. Dude,
All right.
I got one of those too.
Look
you
out.
want to see mine?
Got one. Uh-oh.
Okay, cool. I saw it. It was floating on the
Come back with some
surface.
wings
I
or
don't know
something
what it
here.
was.
Oh.
Look at it.
Look at that!
I know.
Oh my gosh!
I wondered what his name was, and now I know. His name is.
So I stumbled across that TikTok, when I was laying in bed one night, and it had me in tears.
Oh
Like
my
the first time I
gosh.
watched it, I thought it was the cutest thing. It caught me so off guard. And
Yeah.
can we talk about that animation?
I-
How amazing that is.
I've always wondered that. I mean, that I feel like has gone viral a couple times.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
specific. I don't even know exactly where it is.
It's
like,
at Disney. I think it's like a meetup. You can pay, you can get tickets to meet Crush. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and I just like to know how that works. Like
I-
whoever's
yeah.
the actor behind that
Oh.
situation has got to be very talented,
Yeah.
much more talented than I, because they got to react to everything that's
Yep.
happening and remain in Crush character.
Yeah.
My favorite is when they're like, "Oh, what are your kids' names?" And he's,
Oh,
turtles
he
have.
starts naming
he
all
starts
million
naming
of them.
all 100 of them, and that is just the best.
Yeah, those are great. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
It gave me a good laugh.
I feel like that's the next thing you got to do when you go to Disney World. Is go see Crush.
I'll buy some tickets.
Me too. Yeah, there you go. Adventures with Allie, episode
Yes.
2.
We'll go to Disney. I love it. Now you're thinking.
All right. Well, TikTok number 2, please. That will be mine here.
Oh, wow.
Look at how amazing this is.
Where is this?
So this is the Sphere
That's what I was going to say. This is in
in
Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Wow.
I mean, that's just amazing. A concert in the clouds, literally. I saw another one,
Wow.
another little animation. I guess it's not really an animation, but another scene inside the Sphere
Mm-hmm.
where it made it look transparent. So I don't know if they must have cameras or something on the outside, but it they basically made it look like you're looking just out into the
Wow.
Vegas landscape.
That's amazing.
Right?
We're going to Vegas probably for NAB again
Yeah.
this year, so I really want to try to check that out. I don't know how hard it is.
Yeah,
to
no,
get
National
inside, but-
Association of Broadcasters convention every
Yep.
year in Las Vegas now,
Yep.
and so a lot of the people from the broadcasting department get to go to that,
Yep.
which is fantastic. All of the newest, latest, and greatest technology,
Oh,
but
yeah.
including the Sphere. So
I really want to get there.
we'll have to go see. I think the tickets are really expensive, though, from what I hear. I know someone
I
who just
bet.
went. And
Well, for something like that, I'd imagine that you're paying a lot. That's
Right?
really sick.
yeah,
really
no,
amazing.
it's yeah, I don't know. It'd be a cool experience to do at least once. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
when we were there a couple years ago, we got to see Penn and Teller.
I love them. I've seen them.
Famous magician duo in
Yep.
Vegas, and it's we're there, might as well, right? And so
Right.
I think that's going to be another one of those situations. So
Well, I'm excited. I hope I can get there this year.
yeah. Well, up next we have some of our very favorite
Feel-good
feel-good
stories.
stories. Thank you. Hello. I'm going to brighten your day a little bit.
Well, I've got a really cool one. So, if you're interested in learning how to be the host with the most from one of the best, here's your chance. Booking.com has listed Martha Stewart's
Uh-oh.
farm guest house for a one-night pre-Thanksgiving stay.
Ooh.
The 1,800 square foot space in Bedford, New York is available November 18th for $11.23.
Oh.
The price actually honors the date of Thanksgiving this year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
isn't
that's
that pretty
creative.
neat?
I like
Yeah.
that.
Well, the experience includes a full itinerary created by Stewart, and guests will get a guided tour of the property and instruction on wreath making and table setting, as well as a catered brunch with Stewart herself. So the booking window opens noon Eastern Time on November 16th.
I'm gonna put that on my calendar.
That-
I'm gonna sign me up for that.
I
I'll
mean,
go stay at Martha Stewart's house.
I'm gonna have to set like 8 alarms, you know,
right.
like.
Maybe Snoop Dogg will stop by.
Oh my
and
gosh,
be
that
hanging
would
out
be
with Martha Stewart, Snoop
amazing.
Dogg.
They are close.
It is.
It's the
a very-
craziest duo.
It is a
Yeah.
strange friendship that, for some reason, works really well.
It does. I really like it.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But maybe he would stop by. Now you've got me really wanting to go to booking.com. So
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, in Southwest Florida, a little boy picks up the phone to call 911, but it wasn't for an emergency. Instead, the young boy called because he wanted a hug from an officer. Oh. It happened on Wednesday when he called 911, and the call came from his home in southwest of Tampa. New police body cam video shows the moments when the deputy arrived at the young boy's home, and here you can see the mother open the door, concerned, and goes on to explain what had happened. And she called her son to the door and asked him if he called the police. His reply, of course, was, well, I wanted to give him a hug. Oh, look at that right there.
Oh.
The boy goes on to give the deputy a hug and then learns the importance of calling 911.
Oh, I love that. Oh.
That's a little talk about feel good on this
Yes.
wonderful Tuesday.
You know
I
what?
mean,
Yes.
that doesn't make you feel. If that doesn't make you feel good, I don't know what will.
I know.
That was
Sometimes you just need a hug.
heartwarming.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not 911. That's more
Yeah,
of a
maybe not
non-emergency
911.
number call right
I
there.
know.
but-
Maybe he really needed it, but
Well, yeah, no.
But-
Don't call 911 unless it's an emergency. Let's just get that
Agreed,
out there right now. Only for emergencies, but yeah.
But anyway, we'll continue because I know we have another just heartwarming story.
Okay.
So Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is honoring the medical staff who saved his life earlier this year by giving back in a very big way. So Hamlin went into cardiac arrest in January after making a tackle against the Cincinnati Bengals. He announced on social media that he had dinner with the 10 medical staff members who saved his life Saturday night, calling them his heroes. But he also announced that he is launching a scholarship program
Wow.
called Cincinnati Heroes Scholarship. The program will award 10 $1,000 scholarships to underdeserved students in the Cincinnati area. I can't even believe
That's
that.
awesome.
That's really amazing. And Hamlin says that each scholarship will be named after one of the medical staff
Oh,
members.
that is so sweet.
Beautiful. I mean, I remember watching that game and
Yeah.
hearing about it the next day, and everyone was just so heartbroken and so scared.
It was. It was
was
such
so
a
scary.
scary situation,
Yeah.
and it like took over kind of
Oh, it really
the
did.
whole country. I
Yep.
mean, the whole country kind of got behind Damar Hamlin
Yeah.
and was there to support, you know, and I feel like it's been a while since we've seen that amount
Yeah.
of outpouring of support
Really.
for a sports person, a
Agreed.
sports figure, and so that was really like
Yeah.
great to see
I mean,
that, you know.
At the ESPYs too, I mean, he welcomed them all on stage, and I mean, he's clearly just so thankful for what they did for him that now he's even making scholarships and he's going to change some young students' lives. So you just
Yeah.
love to see that.
Well,
Really
I'm glad. Yeah, we can at least feel good
Oh, I'm
on
feeling
this
great. Yep.
wonderful Tuesday. We're going to be right back after this. We will have a very special guest to talk about her recent mission trip to Africa. Stay with us.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Back to Good Morning Lewis. Today I am here with a very special guest. She is an associate professor of communications here at Lewis. She is also the faculty advisor for the news broadcast and this show right here. Please welcome my very special guest, Tracy Hemingway.
Thank you for having me.
Tracy, is it weird to be on this side of the camera?
It is very strange, I would say, yes. Now I know how you feel.
Yeah, right? And she's used to being in the control room behind the scenes, and
Mm-hmm.
so now we get to have your debut here to talk about your recent mission trip to Africa. You want to tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this trip?
Sure. So my friend does these mission trips to Africa every year, and I've seen her post online. And every year I kind of comment like, oh, that looks amazing, or I would love to do that, but yet I've never signed up. And then this year I just kind of felt a calling to do it, so I said, I'm going. And my daughter Riley said she wanted to join me, so we both actually went.
Wow. And that was that a pretty, was that, I mean, how far in advance was this? Was this a lot of planning that went into this trip?
Probably about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a little longer than I had expected. I think we actually, when you went, because you went earlier this year, right? You went in May?
Right, we went at the end of May last
End of May.
this
We were
year.
at the airport at the same time.
We
too.
were.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
So where exactly in Africa did you end up going?
So we went to various schools throughout Nairobi and Turkana, and actually in Kenya. So we went through a variety of schools within that area.
Yeah, and you were there for how long?
We were there about 2 weeks.
Okay, and what did you do while you were there at these schools?
Okay, so in the morning we would do lessons we teach in the school.
Right.
And then in the afternoon we actually did community visits where we went out into the community, met with community members. We brought baskets of food and other supplies that they needed. And so at each school we were greeted with personalized signs,
Yeah.
which was amazing because you'd pull into this area, there's nothing there, like you're in a desert, and you pull in, there's like a little, building, and then all of these students are lined up there to greet you with your name that they made on these little signs. And then they also had musical skits or singing, and I think we have a clip of that. You
Yeah, I
wanna
think
show
we have a
that?
clip of the. So maybe you can explain a little bit about what's going on here.
So this was just a beautiful welcome. This was actually at one of the first schools we went to, and it was Napuo School. It was a school ages kindergarten to 5th grade. And so these are the students that we taught every day in the mornings.
Wow.
But they just had these angelic voices, and they were so joyful, despite not having anything.
Yeah.
Right, all they had was their faith, and that kind of carried them through, right?
Wow. And so did they say you went to a couple different places? They did this every time you arrived at
Everywhere
a new
we
place?
went.
Wow.
Everywhere we went.
That's kind of cool. That's a good way, a nice way to be greeted and kind of feel
Right.
welcomed in the community.
Yeah, they're very welcoming and loving,
Yeah.
and despite the fact we can't fix all of the issues that they have, we can make them feel like they're not forgotten, right, and that they're loved.
Right.
And kind of that was the purpose.
Yeah. So you are the kind of faculty advisor for the newscast here, and I understand you did some sort of a news broadcast or,
Okay, so they did this news
They did,
broadcast,
okay.
right? Unbeknownst to me, and so it was at one of the high schools, and they showed up and they were standing right in front of me, and they did this whole CNN news skit.
Oh, wow,
And
look at that.
You can see they created equipment out of nothing, so that's a paint roller at the end of a stick. And so they created a boom mic out of a paint roller, and then they had a little prompter they created out of a piece of aluminum, and I think it was a piece of cardboard or whatever. So
Yeah.
they were very innovative and clever. And they were so proud of this little newscast, and it was just really ironic considering that's what I do here.
Yeah, right. And
Yeah.
so they just did that on their own. You weren't
No, that was
facilitating that?
that was their little presentation.
Wow.
So we all sat in the front it was almost like we were dignitaries at this long table, right? And then they would come in front and do these little skits, and that was the first one they did
Wow.
for our table.
That's
And
crazy.
so everybody with me knew that what I did at home, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, if this isn't a sign that you're
Yeah.
supposed to be here, I don't know what is." So
Wow. Was there anything else that what's one thing you wouldn't forget about this most recent trip to Africa?
So I think just how desperate things were, especially in the Mathara Valley where we went. I mean, there was no running water. There was sewage running through the streets. There was little kids running around unattended. You could see their homes in the photos that you're showing. They're just made out of whatever material they could find. And so it was a very desperate place that they were living in. And it's just unbelievable that those conditions still exist, you know,
Yeah.
in parts of the world.
Yeah. Wow. And I mean, the people, you talked a little bit about the people. Was there any person that stuck out to you, like that you remember that you were blessed to meet, you know, while you were there?
Yes. So we did sponsor a little girl. She's an 8-year-old orphan. Her name's Charlene. And so by sponsoring, we donate money every month, and it goes towards her food expenses, her education.
And
we
that's
got
her
to
right
meet
there?
her. Yes, we got to meet her, and she was
Wow.
absolutely adorable. Again, very joyful and grateful to see us and to be able to meet us. She claimed she didn't understand English very well, and so in the beginning we were kind of acting things out to
Yeah.
communicate. But by the end of it, we kind of caught on that she knew a lot more than she said she did, because she had a little friend come in and ate with us one day.
Yeah.
And we were like making jokes and everything, and they were like laughing right on cue, like they knew what we were saying. So I kind of like jabbed her, I'm like, you know exactly what we're saying, and then she started laughing. So she knew a lot more
Wow.
English than she let on to believe, but she still writes us letters.
That's
She calls us
awesome.
Mama. She calls me Mama Tracy. So she'll send me a letter and say how she's doing in school and stuff. So it's really
Wow, that's so inspiring. I mean, is there anything else from this trip you want to add that you think people should know, like who are maybe looking to
I
do
would
something
say
like
if you
this?
ever have the opportunity to go, don't think about it twice, just go. I know that Lewis provides a lot of opportunities for mission trips, so
Yeah.
if you are interested, I would say just go. It's an absolute transformative experience. It's one of the best experiences my daughter and I have ever had, so
Yeah. Would you go back if you
I
had
would
the chance?
absolutely go back, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's so inspiring to hear that story and that you are part of this news broadcast and that you are doing all these great things. So thank you very much for everything that you've done for us and for them. And we look forward to hearing about the next one when
thanks
that
for
happens.
having me. Okay.
We'll be right back right after this.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
All right. Well, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Good Morning Lewis. You can
Yeah.
keep up with us on all sorts of social media platforms.
Lewis University Television Network.
On Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Obviously, you found the YouTube today, so.
Yeah, good job. But yes, thank you for tuning in and have a great rest of your day, and we will see you again next week.
See ya.